Welcome to the 15th episode of the Can Learn Library here at the North Battleford Library. Today we're going to make a drink coaster using cork, some Scrabble tiles, and dare I say it, Mod Podge glue. Other than time to dry, they make a quick gift and can be made bigger using more tiles and cork. So this is kind of a little bit about a little bigger one than we're going to make. We're going to use 16 tiles, so that'll be 4 by 4. Okay, I'll let you know what you're going to need to make your coaster. These are the items that you're going to need to make your coaster. You're going to need a 4-inch square piece of cork. I bought mine at Staples. You can get a roll of it, but I notice now that you can get it in some of the dollar stores. So you might be able to find it there. It's not too thick, so it makes it a little easier to deal with and to cut. I've got 16 tiles, Scrabble tiles, and I'm going to be doing 4 different words, so you can kind of make a theme with yours. So the Scrabble tiles, I was able to get A to Z at the dollar store, but if you need multiple vowels, that was my problem. I ended up ordering them from Amazon, and I got 500 tiles, and it's been handy because I've done a few crafts with them. Then we've got the Mod Podge glue. I've got a ruler, a paintbrush, a utility knife or X-Acto knife, and a good old heavy book. Sorry about that, Dictionary of Canadian Biography, but we won't get any glue on you. Okay, now let's put it together. You can see me okay here. I neglected to mention you should have a surface like this for when you're going to cut the cork around the coaster after. So good to work on something like this. All right, so now we've got our 4-inch piece of cork, and I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to take my ruler because I want, oops, there, I think you can see better now. Okay, so I'm going to take my ruler and put it as straight as I can on here. Now, I thought I would do cozy fire, read book. So I'm going to get my word cozy out, my letters. All right. And using our paintbrush, now that I've got this straight, I'm going to put some glue on the back side of this. Now maybe I better move that up just a bit, just to make sure I have enough room at the bottom. Okay, so that ruler's going to hopefully keep me straight. Continue on with our letters. There are so many different ways of doing things on Pinterest, and sometimes you'll find that if you try something there, sometimes you can adapt it if you don't have an item that it asks for, or you might find out that something else works better. So I don't know if you can see. I'm scared to lift it up. Let's see if I bring it a little closer. You can see the word cozy there. It'll be, of course, backwards to you. All right, so now I'm going to do my word fire. Trying to keep them straight can be difficult at times. If you find that your cork is lifting a little, you might want to put something on the side here just to keep it down a little. If you use a thicker cork, you don't have that problem, but I found using a thicker cork is a little tougher to work with, and sometimes when you cut it, it has a lot of what I call crumbs sort of like when you cut it, it gets kind of crumbly. But this thinner one doesn't seem to do that, so I've gone with that. Oops. They're shifting a little. Okay. So, 2 words almost done. I've seen all kinds of ones where they're to do with camping. I've done some family ones with love, pray, hope. And if you use bigger words, well, of course, your cube's going to be a little bit bigger. But it's kind of neat to make it. Some people use this. You can also use the spray for the part when we're almost done, and I'll show you what I mean. I've just done it with Mod Podge, just because trying to get it, sometimes you can't always get what you want, so you improvise. Okay. All right, so we'll get this done. If you find that it's not sticking too well, you can also do the sides, although it's kind of tricky with the tiles to put them on that way. Of course, you end up with a lot of glue on your hands. So, okay, so we've got Cozy Fire, Read. And now I'm going to do our final word, which is book. And you'll soon see why we use a heavy book, because that's what's going to keep the glue and the tile together. And I've usually done it overnight, but we might try today with a few hours and see how that works. If it looks like it's stuck, I might film the rest. If not, we'll wait till tomorrow. Okay. So let's just... And the nice thing about Mod Podge is it dries clear. So I've often wondered what's the difference between Mod Podge and Le Podge's white glue, because it kind of smells the same. I wonder if it would work, but that could be for another try. Okay, so now that I'm pretty straight here, just make sure before I put my heavy book on here, and we are going to let that have some time to set and glue together, and I will be back to show you a little more things that we have to do to it. Okay, we're back. I let it dry overnight, so we'll just take the book off. And as you can see, it's glued down very well, so I'm happy. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is carefully use my utility knife or X-Acto knife. So I'm just going to cut, I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to cut alongside one side here and take this off. All right. Had it where if they're not quite straight, you kind of got to be careful, because I ended up trying to cut some of the wood of the tiles, and that's not good. So there we go. So now I have, well, maybe a little trim here, just to be sure that it's even with the tile. rid of the crumblies. Okay. Usually it cuts better than this. Maybe this knife is dull. Okay. All right. Now some people finish it, you can use a spray, because I guess Mod Podge does come in spray, but because I don't have that, I'm going to put a coat over top of this. I'm going to paint it on. All right, so I'll just do some painting on here, because I want some of the glue to go in between the tiles, and sometimes a couple of coats will ensure that it's not going to come off or come apart. So I'm going to just do this as quickly as I can. I also like to do the sides, because that ensures that it gets in there as well. And like I said, the nice thing that's about this is that the glue dries clear. So I'll just do the sides. That last side's always hard. If I'm thinking, there we go. I'll do it like this so that I don't have to really touch too much the sides. So I'll just do this. Okay, just to make sure. So I'm going to let this dry for at least an hour and then put on another coat. And I also like to paint the back side, but of course that's impossible right now. So we'll just let this dry and I'll be back. Okay, so after one coat, you can see that the glue dries really nice and clear. I would personally do another coat, and I would do the back side as well, just to give it a more finished look, and it should hold together good. And so that's how you make a coaster. A bigger one or a smaller one, depending on what you want to put on it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I guess I'll see you next time for the Can Learn Library here at the North Battleford Library. Thank you, and have a great day.